My name is Vivian Zhang, and I'm a 15-year-old from Bothell, Washington. In my research, I learned that the governor has proposed a plan to hire more police officers to improve public safety. How will this plan address concerns about law enforcement accountability while ensuring communities feel safer?
Thank you for that question. That's again, this is an issue that has two sides to it. Um, in addition to, well, let's go back and let's start at what one of the main issues are, and that is that Washington State has emerged as one of the most dangerous states in the nation, if not the most dangerous state. It depends on which source you're looking at. We're clearly in a position that we shouldn't be when it comes to protecting our families, neighborhoods, and businesses. That is something that is very much one of the reasons why I ran for office to begin with, in that while we are seeing some things that have happened in the news with officers that unfortunately, there's been an altercation of some sort. Our officers do have what they call qualified immunity. Qualified immunity comes into place when our officers are trained to handle things in a certain way. And as long as they are doing their job in that way, they're doing what they were trained to do, they don't necessarily have the ability to control somebody else's actions on the other side. So I think where the trouble comes in is if there is somebody that is committing a crime and they are not doing what the officers ask, can be very serious. There are people that can be harmed that may be around that area. There are some things that can happen that are accidental. And that's certainly true of this particular profession. And it's a profession that not a lot of us would want to do, specifically because of how dangerous it is. That's why their training is so very important. If things do go sideways, then the people that would be affected by that do have the ability to expect that the officer would be adjudicated. There have been laws that have been passed that there is far more scrutiny as far as that goes. We also have to look at this in the other side of it, that to not be pushing too far the other way, because if an officer goes through that scrutiny, if they go through multiple different investigations and they are found to be innocent, and then we pile on another one where that's happened. We've had 4 different officers that's happened with, where after going through the trial and things through the attorney general, they were found innocent. So what that does at that point is it ruins their reputations, it ruins their careers, and our state does invest a lot of money into the training of these officers, and we are dead last in the nation for officers per capita. Officers that have been trained, we put all that energy and they have experience to be able to train other officers, they're leaving. They are going to other jobs, they're going to different states, they're lateral transferring to different areas. So when they leave, we lose that experience. They take their training with them. So we do need to have, again, that balance where there are expectations that are being, that we expect from them. It's up to us to make sure that we're providing the training that they need to make sure that they're handling things in a certain way. And it is also, I believe, up to the legislature to make sure that the message is being communicated, that we have a set of laws that we expect everybody to go by. The way that I look at this is that it really is twofold. We do want the officers to behave and conduct themselves in certain ways, but we also need to be requiring that of the community. Uh, I believe that we will have less problems if both sides commit to doing that. We want everybody being safe out in our neighborhood, and each one of us uh, bear a responsibility to help make that happen.
Well, thank you for that question, Vivian. By the way, my daughter is named Vivian as well, and she just graduated from high school. So we have been concerned about police misconduct over the years, and we have enacted a lot of new laws to hold police accountable if they engage in misconduct, unnecessarily using force, using bias against certain marginalized groups in our society, and using tactics that are really unacceptable, such as use of military weapons and chokeholds and shooting at moving vehicles and that sort of thing. So we've enacted a very comprehensive set of laws in the last 2 or 3 years to create an accountability structure for police so that we bring policing truly as a profession into the 21st century and also are able to hold police and their bosses, the chiefs and the sheriffs, to hold them accountable if they engage in misconduct and possibly decertify them, like take their license away so they could no longer be a police officer on the streets. And this is changing the culture of police. And so I have greater confidence that police community relations are improving because police are truly professionalized now and have a different sense of justice. It's not about chasing the bad guys, the warrior mentality. It's more about defending the Constitution, protecting our communities rather than sort of out there as a warrior. And so things are changing rapidly, actually. The governor has proposed putting a lot more police officers on the street. We are, I guess, among the lowest of states in terms of number of police officers per capita. And yet we have pretty low crime rates and we have mostly safe communities. Obviously, there are sort of the headline crimes that do alarm people, but we do need to have more police officers out there in the community. And so we are going to be spending a lot of money on that. But more than that, we need to have other types of first responders because what's out there in the public now are people who are languishing, causing public disorder and probably running afoul of the law, but they're suffering from serious mental illness and substance use disorders and don't really have a lot of criminal intent, but they are creating a sense of lack of safety. And so even though crime rates are down, things are calming down after the disruption of the pandemic, people don't feel safe in public spaces. And so that really is a priority for us, to have police going into the streets with clinicians, with social workers, with other types of community responders to respond to those people who, again, are causing disorder but are suffering. And we need to help them, get them off the streets and into a more therapeutic environment, and that will calm things down. So the combination of police accountability and police working with experts to clean up the streets, I think is going to make our communities much safer.